I think that the people in power and in government, there are well-meaning people. There are people that are interested in social justice, in the social welfare state, in justice and fairness for everybody, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and they want to see everybody healthy. And I think that and successful. So I think they're more interested. They're not only interested in money and power. I believe that there are well-meaning people who are interested in making a difference in this world and making sure that everyone has that goal of a meaningful life and a healthy life. And I think that we can find those 10 people. You find 10 people from your side who are not despairing, who want to sit on those boards and make a change. And let's put it out there. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know whether we're going to get the funding for it. But I think that we have to be idealistic and try. We have to give it a shot, because I think that the people in power are seeing society is crumbling. Race relations. There are guns and people being murdered in schools across the country every single day. People murdered in malls. People random shootings. Mob riots in Chicago and New York. Cash and grab, smash and grab events happening all across the country. Difficulties with crime around the country. I think the people in power really realize the society is really crumbling. And I think that we are facing, I think in America, the soft underbelly of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire fell because of overextension, high inflation, not a good morale in the military, social decay, a social upheaval. We're having all those things happen here in America. Military morale is down. Military preparedness for a conflict with Russia or with China. Crime, social upheaval, right and left. Transgender issues, LGBTQT on the right side, left side, right and left politics, potential for civil war in this country. I think the people in power will wake up if you come to the table and say, we need change. We're despairing. We're thinking there's nothing that's going to happen. No change is going to happen. Come with a voice. We'll support you. And let's come up with some solutions. And if we can't, we're going to die trying.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, let's put it out there and see who listens. Isn't that along the same lines of the goal of, this podcast, is to just put it out there, you know what I mean? We're not sending it to specific people. It's going out into the world, and the people who will listen. And the same thing with, if we did set up that group of people and have that discussion, there would be people who wouldn't listen to it, or would listen to it and actively dislike it and actively speak against it. But then there would also be the people who would speak with it and agree with it. And I guarantee you that the negative side of things would be much bigger than the positive side of things. And the same thing, like you said, with the fall of Rome, is that history repeats itself. In a couple decades, like, my kids might learn about the fall of America instead of the fall of Rome. Who knows? You know what I mean? We already have political leaders assassinated. It happens all the time. We've seen it happen in China. We've seen it happen in Russia within this month, within this year. We've even seen it happen in America. And I think, like, Russia and China and all these conflicts, you say that the world, that the society is crumbling, but it's crumbling in a way that makes the people in power money, and it gives them more power, because the more fear there is, the easiest way to control someone is with fear. If they're scared of something, they will do anything. If you unlock the primal aspect of a human, they will do anything. If you make someone scared of something, they will do anything to solve that fear. And so having all these wars and the threat of World War III or an American Civil War just create more fear. It creates, talking about gun laws creates the fear that gun laws are going to be put in place, and then makes it easier for the people who are against or pro gun laws kind of have the same goal. It doesn't matter what their actual motivations are. Their motivation is to get people on their side and get people to listen to them. So it doesn't matter if getting people on their side and listening to them means they're pro guns or anti guns, but they have the same goal in the end, which is to gain influence and gain that power. And a lot of times that leads to money.
I think that there is a system which is put in place right now, which does further power and money, and power corrupts. And I believe that there has to be a voice of sanity. There has to be a voice of vision. And yes, the purpose of this podcast is to put it out there, but I don't think it's enough, Aaron, for us to just put it out there. I think we have to propose something practical, strategic, something innovative that can start turning the wheels of society, that we have to affect change. Change has to happen. And I think that if we put it out there and start saying to the press that we have a solution, we're not going to sit here complaining. We're going to come up with solutions. You're not allowed to complain unless you come up with an offer of a solution. Let's put it out there and let's see what happens.